Hi, my name is Bill Ball. I'm the owner and driver of a 1986 Saleen Mustang. I've owned over 100 Mustangs since the age of 17 years old when I bought my first, which was a 1987 LX, which is kind of funny to think of now because I was 17 in 94, 93, 94. So it was only a few-year-old car back then when I bought that car. Kept that car until about 2000 when it got wrecked, and that was the end of that. Since then, like I said, over 100 Mustangs, over 98 of those were Foxbodies. A lot of them were race cars that were ended up to be cut up once they were either wrecked or blown up or whatever happened along the lines. I've had a few newer Mustangs, nothing newer than 2004 though. So for me, the Foxbody is a quintessential Mustang. And not only does it corner well, but it makes an outstanding drag car because they're light. Most of these cars, especially the coupes, are around 3,100 to 3,200 pounds with a driver. Back in my days of racing, my cars were about 2,600 to 2,700 pounds, even full race weight, roll cage, all that stuff. I'm a purist when it comes to hatch Foxbodies. The hatches are the best looking Foxbodies in my opinion. It just gives that race look. They look like they're going fast when they're sitting still. And for me, the four-eyed Mustangs are the best looking Foxbodies, and that's your 1982 to 1986s are your four eyes. This car for me is especially special because of the fact, number one, it's a Saleen. So for the Foxbody guy, the Saleen is always going to be the epitome of what we want. The Roushes didn't come out until later, so there was no Roush. Shelby wasn't a big deal with Foxbodies. They did a couple things in the early years. They had a Shelby in 82, but it was a four-cylinder turbo car. But for me, it really wasn't what it's about for me. I like the unusual stuff. I've had a bunch of SVOs, which are four-cylinder turbo cars, made from 84 to 86. Didn't make a ton of those, but there are more on the street than this car. The Saleen for me, a lot of people look at it when I'm driving or I show up to a car show and look at the sticker packages and the body kits and all that stuff, the body kit on it, and just say it screams the 80s. And for me, the 80s is when cars were cool. You had cars like the Buick Grand National that led the field for what that car was in 87 especially. And this car for me, when I go somewhere and you know people that are Foxbody people, they all get excited by this car. It's fun to drive. It corners outstanding. Has ice cold AC. It's a great car. Gets great gas mileage. It's reliable as all heck, and just makes me happy to be in it and drive it. I'd have to say that what I enjoy most about this car is the way it looks and the way it sounds. You know, even though it's a stock 5-liter Mustang, it still has a distinctive sound that you only get from small block Ford motors especially. But you know, talking about it with people, you know, giving people the reality of what the car really is makes it just a blast to own, to drive, to sit at car shows with. It's just, you know, it's, in my opinion, it's the ultimate driver's car. You know, you don't need a Ferrari or a Lamborghini to have a fun car to drive. This car is just a blast in every way to drive. So this car is a 1986, and the car number is 25, which makes it the 25th car in the production of 202 cars that were made by Saleen in 1986. One of many things that makes this car special is that the body kit on this car is from 1985. In 1986, Saleen picked 9 cars to receive the body kits that were left over from 1985. Now, as kind of cheesy as that sound, it actually makes this car more rare because only 9 cars got it. The other fun stuff about the car is the rear wing on this car. So the rear wing is also from 1985, and what's special about it is this rear wing travels all the way to the back window versus the later wings, so 1986 and 1987 wings that ended in a circle which stopped about 2.5 to 3 inches from the window. The car remains completely stock. has the correct mufflers, has the correct headers, has correct engine parts. So with that, it's not a fast car. It's fun to drive because it corners insanely well, but it's 210 horsepower and 265 foot-pounds of torque, which is the exact same number that it was when it came off the showroom floor or out of the manufacturer from Ford. I will never do anything to this car other than upkeep it and make sure it runs great throughout its life. Mainly because it'll completely devalue the car and, in my opinion, takes away from what the car really is. It still has factory AC, and the funny part about that is AC blows colder in this than it does in my newer truck. It's all around such a fun car to drive because of the amenities and the way it looks. It corners beyond well. They talked about in 1986 that these cars would do almost a G on the skid pad through the turns. Still to this day, I mean, I've taken this car on some pretty hairy roads and been at some pretty high speeds even with such a collector car. It's just fun to do, so I just, got to get out and enjoy it once in a while. So most cases when I'm at a car show or a car club cruise, or if I just take this down to gas station or something, if it's a Mustang person and they see the car, most Mustang people, even if they're relatively knowledgeable on Foxbody Mustangs, don't necessarily know how unusual this car really is. So those people are always fun to talk to about the car, because Foxbody guys, we're all pretty similar in what we enjoy about these cars and why we like them so much. And with this car being a Saleen and number 25 of 202 that were made, it's just an incredibly unusual car. And when Mustang enthusiasts see this car, they generally get pretty excited about it and have to call all their friends over and talk to them about it and just kind of make it into a big deal. So it's just a blast because of that factor. It just brings people together. So one of the other things about this car that makes this so much fun to drive is the suspension components that were put on by Saleen. In the 80s, and even up until about 1993, maybe even a little bit later than that, 96, 97, Saleen used racecraft suspension components. And the Fox bodies, especially the early stuff, before they started doing stuff to the engines in 1989 and a half and up to 1990, the biggest part about this car was the suspension. Saleen did racecraft struts, racecraft shocks. Also, they did racecraft coil springs in the front, and they did racecraft coil springs in the back, which also lowered the car about 1.5 inches. And then they also did the quad shocks. Most people today don't even know what quad shocks are. Ford put quad shocks on the cars to prevent wheel hop. They were a shock that kind of went in an angle from the differential up to the body of the car to keep the rear differential down on the ground. So which also kept it down on the ground to go through turns. For anybody that follows Saleen, Steve Saleen started off as an SCCA race car driver, and then later got involved with manufacturers to develop race cars. And essentially the Saleen is a race car, but in a street car form. They corner insanely well, and I mean, I can tell you personally, hopefully police in the area don't see this, but I've done well over 100 miles an hour through some pretty hairy turns in this car, which again is kind of sketchy because it's such a rare car, but I raced cars for many, many years, and speed is a thing and it's an addiction, and this car just happens to be able to corner well enough, even in stock form, to make it fun. So along the way, this car went through some pretty drastic changes. Early in its life, the first owner, I'm actually the fourth owner of the car. The first owner of the car stripped the body kit off the car and painted it the most god-awful Kawasaki green you could ever imagine. There's pictures on the internet of it somewhere. But in the late 90s, another gentleman in Southern, so it's also a Southern California car. The car originated from California, stayed in California up until 2009 when my brother bought it. And that's more of story later. However, the car in 2004 went to the Saleen factory in California and was completely restored back to original. And a lot of the parts on the car are the original parts that the second owner got with the car when he purchased it. The car was at Saleen for about a year and a half when they completely redid the car. Every nut bolt on this car was redone. And still to this day, it's still that same way. It is about ready for a repaint at this point, but it's still in the same condition it was when it left Saleen in about 2005, 2006. So my brother bought this car in about 2009 when he lived in San Diego. The car immediately went to a shop in San Diego to have a few more little things redone on the car that he felt needed to be done. My brother's a perfectionist into a point that it's kind of ridiculous. After that point, at about 2011, 2012, the car went to my mom's house, which at that point was in Central California, and then my mom retired and it went to Idaho to sit in my mom's garage for about just shy of 10 years when I finally decided I wanted the car. The story behind me getting the car, I had two other Mustangs at the time, both Foxbodies. And my brother called me and said that he was ready to sell the car and did I know anybody that would be interested. And of course I said me. And essentially we had to work out a deal for me to get the car down here as well as to purchase the car. My main reason for wanting this car so bad is my mom has been battling cancer for the last few years, and this being at my mom's house, my mom was the one that started it. My mom would back it out of the garage and move it around here and there, and so it just reminds me of my mom. When I get in the car, it smells like my mom, and just gives me what I need when I'm struggling with things to find just a little bit more happiness, because it reminds me so much of my mom. It wasn't an easy transaction to make happen because the money involved was not easily agreed upon what we were going to do. But in the end, what I paid for the car isn't even a tenth of its value. So for me, it just worked out to be something I couldn't pass up. So the other two Mustangs ended up going away, and this one will now be in my possession until I either decide to retire and sell it or pass it down to one of my kids. So I've now had the car for, almost 4 years. When I bought the car, about 3 days after purchasing the car, I popped on a couple of websites, forums that people were on that had Saleens that said that, I should give Saleen a call and register the car with them so they know the car is still out there, because there are so few 1986s. So I called Saleen. A woman answered the phone. I told her why I was calling, and then of course she tells me who she is, which was Steve's daughter, and right now her name escapes me. But when I told her the car I had, which was 1986-0025, which is the number, she asked me to hold on a minute. Because Saleen did the restoration in 2004, of course they remembered the car. So a few minutes later, a gentleman gets on the phone and says, "Oh, I hear you have 86-0025, and then he says his name. Well, of course, I was kind of blown away at the moment because it was Steve Saleen that picked up the phone, and we talked for a few minutes, and then he asked me if I was interested in selling the car, and I said no because I just got it. And he just told me if I ever decided I wanted to, give him first crack at it. And if that does happen, I hope he's still alive to make that offer again. But at this point in time, I'm nowhere near ready to sell the car. It's just too enjoyable to own, and my kids and I and my fiance and her kids, we just love the car enough that it's just not going to go anywhere anytime soon. So to my knowledge, and this was said to me by Saleen more than anyone, this is a one-of-one car. With the package it has, they only know that this one exists with the package it was produced with. With that, I get a lot of comments from people at car shows, at cruise nights. Why do I drive it? Why don't I stick it on a trailer and drag it behind my truck and bring it to a car show or bring it to a cruise night? Well, the simple answer is I'm a car guy. I didn't buy this car to sit in the garage under a car cover and just, in my opinion, rot away. Do I put a lot of miles on it? Absolutely not. Last year, I put a total of 863 miles on the car. This year, the last time I drove it was for this, and that was the first time this year that it has been driven. For me, it's the joy this car brings me just getting in it, sitting down, putting my seatbelt on, very important thing, people, and driving around. You know, I live in an area where there aren't a lot of car events, so I do have to drive a distance to get to stuff. However, it's so much fun to drive, and it's fun to drive fast. You know, I don't think I go anywhere in this car and not be, you know, going as quick as I possibly can just because of the excitement it brings. Now, there are times where I'm out driving around that I absolutely consider putting it on jack stands, covering it in plastic, putting car covers over it, and letting it sit until the day I decide what I'm going to do with it. I can tell you I won't sell it. I don't think there's a number that someone could offer me that would convince me to sell it at this time. You know, granted, there's some pretty big numbers out there and people with lots and lots of money that probably could convince me to sell it. However, it would take a lot. You know, good 7-figure offer would probably do it. But in the end, you know, it is fun to drive, and I can't just leave it in the garage.